Coming out of that mill. This takes it down to the next mill, and most of it's being spilled out to shut it off. This is falling water doing work in Galicia. You can see how they solved the problem of putting tile over a building that isn't square, a roof that's not square. And down there is a bypass. So if that mill is not in operation, the water from this double mill can just skip it. What beautiful stonework. I'll bet this was all completely overgrown and practically forgotten a couple hundred years ago. As Shirley just said, this is my paradise. There's a Biss, here's a bridge across the Biss. This Biss is bringing water from that mill. You see, they keep it on a practically perfectly level contour, and there it's being held by one of the terraces. Here's a valve right there to take it down to the terraces. And probably the terraces were all irrigated. This mill wheel, the wheel is being bypassed. There's another one of those markers. I'm sure they're very old. Being bypassed. Now look at that. When they restored this, they pruned things back. That's probably what they say it's going to do. I hope. This mill is being bypassed. And there's the valve that shuts the water off to that mill. The shut off. They call them valve. What else to call them? Is that practically a prehistoric fern? No. It looks like a... I don't know what that is. It looks a little like a locust. To shut off. Pretty fancy door on that one. exactly what Shirley has got in his mill for the input. This could become such a repeating pattern. I'm sure those are giant ferns that have been pruned back. I guess I could tell if I look on the back side. This is getting to be quite a repeating pattern. There's a double-wheeled mill, probably, like Shirley's. I'll find out how long these mills will. Look at the road. That original road has been paved with boulders. And here's where the road crosses the abyss water supply. That's remotely like what I've done on the farm. And very much like what Shirley has in his mill. Another pretty nice new door. That's down at by the town of Aguarda, which is near Pontevedra, if you have any trouble finding this. That's the Atlantic Ocean out there, way out there. You can see it. Certainly it's nice that this is just a mode. That I'm sure was just a lucky coincidence for us. That's good. We can use some luck. We've had some hard times on this trip. But this is a find. There are going to be people from England that come here just to see this, I'm sure. Atlantic Ocean again. That's called a trash rack. That's great. I have a theory about those cut stones, that they marked where somebody was allowed to put a mill. I'm making this up, but back staking a claim sort of. But I wanted to point out that here, even though there's no mill, that terrace has been built. They just terrace here everywhere, as one should do with mountainsides. There's that terrace that we were just looking at, built plumb, not on a batter. More mills. 21 in this fall. And each one has a cut stone, like a parking garage. If it were possible to ignore this water, let's say there were a drought, you could still come here just to study this gorgeous stonework. Beautiful, beautiful stonework. Now these were cut. I was wrong to say that only that was a cut stone, but that's clearly a marker. These are cut as well. A little bit of a curve to that wall, but I wonder if that pushed. I imagine they just built it that way. There's the outlet, if you want to, or the bypass, I maybe should call it. That's if that mill's operating. I think, although I'm not sure, that we may be at the top of this line of mills. Mill 21, maybe. No, there's another one. Mill 22. Oh, look at the lintels. That's the main highway coming from Portugal into Galicia. We have made it to the top of the mills, and now we're going to head over that way. This is mill number 21, I think, counting from the bottom. This first mill is supplied by abyss. This is as good an example of abyss as you're liable to find in Switzerland. It runs right on the level. In Spain, abyss is called a levada, or sometimes an acequia. Madeira is full of them. There's more water here available than they need, so it spills out. It's caught by a terrace, no doubt. That pine tree is an issue. I'm tempted to do a public service. This is where we've come to. The name of this is O Nível, the level. And there's a Capella de San Martino, that goes on up. So this would be, there's a chapel up there. That's the double mill right there that Shirley is looking at right now. Now we're at the top, and this is supplied by a disc.